If you clicked on this video, you probably have no idea what Super Random Fighters is. So allow me to give you a quick introduction to the game before we move on to the general topic of today's video. Super Random Fighters is a Roblox crossover fighting game inspired by Super Smash Bros. The main goal of this game in general is to get the most kills while using the given characters from their separate franchises. And there's one character that sticks out like a sore thumb. And that character's name is Gummy. Gummy is SRM's Kirby replacement and Max_17399's OC. Now why is a Nintendo OC in the middle of a franchise fighter without any explanation? I don't know. That's why we have to discover the lore of this game. The first sighting of lore was on 10th of February with this screenshot being given to the masses in the Discord server. Of course, everyone was confused on everything, and why this dark of a map is in such a happy looking platform fighter. Now, I didn't happen to join or that around this time at the community, but I did eventually end up joining around the time where more sneak peeks were starting to get dropped about this little guy. Of course, this sighting was raising questions. How they get here? How they even begin? How much is there to find? That was the community's questions in our minds, and mine too. Along with a handful of people from the community, we all decided to slowly start the hunt for this mysterious ARG. At first, the community didn't have a clue where to look. Of course, you couldn't even begin to imagine where to find any lore in the first place. But eventually, after a lot of searching, 3 maps were discovered. These maps were Ruins of Light, Chaos, and Creepy. Now you may be wondering what connected all these maps in the first place and how they were associated with the lore as well. And the one thing that connected them all was a white neon orb in the air. If you manage to reach them with a given character and get inside of them, you get teleported to the start of everything.
The stars dim without word, so we loosened our names and let the ashes drift. And somewhere beyond the silence, something breathed again. You must remember.
You spawn in. No matter what character you were, you still become Gummy. You're forced to go through a slow crawl through the same path over and over again, while you get to feel the environment of this subliminal space. Something that's not meant to be here at all. Something that wasn't meant to exist in the first place. But as you pass on through the lineal space, you eventually notice a portal. You feel desperately crawling towards it for answers, for a way to discover what you might have not known. Moving here was a very good idea. Everyone has been worried about that thing that appeared in the sky. I'm worried too. You wake up. You're in a bed, walking outside, still confused and dazzled over what happened, only to be met by a black mysterious thing in the sky. It looms over the area like the moon from Majora's Mask, the thing crackling with energy as everyone seemed to be terrified by it. All except one person. This one seemed to be the only one not afraid. Why wasn't it afraid? Why did it not care about its demise? What does it know that we don't? Well, that led to a dead end. And we didn't even have any questions answered, which was a bummer. But I decided to stumble upon other maps. And the second map that we, as a group, explored was Creepy. The map was indeed creepy, with eyes looming from every corner, staring down at you like they only knew something you didn't know. But that wasn't the main point of it. The unique thing about this map was the orb, unlike in Chaos, was inaccessible by one person alone, and that two people needed to combine their efforts to get into the orb in the first place. So you may be wondering, how did you even get here? And that one character that helped us was King. King is a unique character based on Alan Becker's character of King. And he has a special move in his arsenal, aka Path of Magma blocks. Combining two kings allowed us to synergize our moves and allowed us to make a continuous path using our expertise to enter the orb. And once you enter the orb, you get transported to
A timeline devoured by shadows and stars. This was before you learned how to be reborn.
you were met by darkness, where you're unable to even tell where you're going, unable to see where you even are. You're alone, and no matter what you do, you always seem to get led into a dead end in this dark forest. At this point, we were kinda lost. The people in our ARG group didn't have a clue on what most of these things meant, how the rules were created, and what their main purpose even is. Just everything in this plot in general wasn't really discovered. So we turned to the final map to help us, that being Chaos of Light. To our luck, the map was able to be accessed without any other help, so could easily get over there without the need of any unique tricks unlike in Chaos. Thankfully, this map managed to give us some answers. In this map, we play as a pink gummy. The character is actually present in super random fighters. Under the white and black and white gummies that we've played as beforehand. So we assumed that we're on a good path forward. You move ahead with the same path as in Missing Remote 2, unlike the slow crawl you had to do before. Now you're quick and nimble, which allowed you to get to the home portal with ease.
What if it all was all a lie? What if we weren't even close to begin with?
Every single path had somehow managed to lead to a dead end. We were at a struggle to find anything remotely useful. We checked these maps again and again to see if we missed anything, but all of it seemed to lead to the same dead end regardless of what we even did. Was this truly over? Were all our efforts wasted in such a short period amount of time? Was our trust played with?
Trust.
That was it, wasn't it? We got reminded back to the kick message in Recovered Room 02 that we seemingly trusted too much. So what if we were skeptical? What if we didn't trust the place we were around in? What if we were meant to disobey? What if we were meant?
Yum.
And we were right to disobey. By disobeying, we ended up in a whole different area. The place giving similar vibes to the back rooms. Something that we managed to clip into. But there wasn't any danger. Instead, it was just you exploring this space all by yourself. alone. Until you come across a cube. We were unsure to even trust this thing. After all, we ended up here after disobeying that trust, after not listening to the path ahead. Maybe this was another illusion, another trick to get us to not figure out what we're looking for. So, we prevailed. We moved onward, ignoring the cube. At this point, we're used to white orbs, but this orb seemed to be different than the rest. They were blue, and blue wasn't the color we think we'd stumbled toward ever. We always thought that the colors up ahead would be white, or at least black and white like in the other areas, not blue. But did we trust it? Do we still have any other choice? After looking around, not really. So we decided to go leave a faith and see where it brought us. We ended up in the same place, just brighter looking, brighter colors, friendlier atmosphere, which would have been a good sign before. But with the other brighter atmospheres we came across, we were led to trusting it, only to be betrayed. Is this an endless cycle? When will this all end? When are we going to see an answer? When are we going to see something that might actually satisfy us? I'm dreaming. I want to find you. Where are you? Another subliminal space, another area that's leading to a dead end. Even if you don't trust it, you're forced to go back. You're forced to be met by the thing that's constantly stopping you from continuing. Constantly forced to be taunted with the reminder that you. We were close, right? Most of our group had kind of stopped exploring the area by now. It was just me and another friend of mine. Our final option was to explore recovery room 03, and we explored every nook and cranny. We thought that we might have found nothing, but we eventually found something to help us. A dark window. A dark window without any leads. A dark window that looks severely out of place. So, we stepped into it, hoping that it was our final option. Moving here was a very good idea.
Find me.
We were immediately met by the sight of gummies, talking about how this place was so beautiful. Every Friday they explore this place, but we're silent to them. We generally don't talk to these colored gummies, but we talked with one gummy, this white gummy. He expressed gratitude for something that we did for him, that we helped him out a lot through difficult times, where we then admit that we're feeling strange and that we're experiencing strange dreams. After that, we seemingly moved after he expressed our worry. We moved ahead, just jumping through before we were met by the sights of red chairs, increasingly more present, and our curiosity grew the more we explored. And the more we explored, we were met by a sight. Rows after rows of red chairs, and the moment we saw it, the area around us dulled and turned foggy, as that one entity seemed to want to kill us again. We ran for our lives going through this chase. I made falls in the middle of it, but I managed to get to the very end. But I just trusted my instincts too much. Even if I went as far away from it as possible, it eventually catch up. It'd eventually kill me. It'd eventually never want me to know what I'm truly looking for.